Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an extended video for Bee Gees Madness. Today is the 31st, and we are reacting to the Bee Gees documentary. It is called, what's it called again? How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Oh no, I have a feeling that this is not going to be good for me. You guys know I am a crier. Anytime I watch or listen to anything with any kind of emotion, whether I relate to it or not, I'm just weeping. When I see other people cry, I cry. So if it's going to talk about the brothers' deaths, I'm going to cry, which I believe it does. So I'm very excited to get all the context in regards to the Bee Gees now. I've gotten a lot of context from you guys in the comments throughout this entire month, which has been amazing and so helpful in understanding sort of their rise and fall and rise again of the Bee Gees. But this doc is going to put it all into perspective. I've been reacting to the Beatles anthology documentary as well, and it's helping contextualize so much of the era of the Beatles, and so I'm hoping that's going to happen here with the Bee Gees, and people love this doc. They've been raving about it in the comments all month long. If you're wondering why I'm not wearing my Bee Gees shirt today, it's because I'm actually recording this before I finish filming my Bee Gees Madness series. Today's actually the 29th when I'm recording this, so I'm recording a little bit early because I won't have time to record on the 31st. So I also ordered a Bee Gees shirt for the finale, but it's not here yet, and I need to film this before I film. Anyways, bunch of backstory. Let's get started with this doc. It's an hour and 50 minutes, so pull up a chair, grab a snack, grab a drink, all the things, and let's jump into it. I'm so freaking excited. Why am I already getting emotional? I'm seriously getting tears in my eyes. Why? Oh, I love watching this old footage. I shouldn't be crying. I've only known the Bee Gees for a month. Can't imagine how you guys who've grown up with the Bee Gees felt when this doc came out. What an intro already. Oh my god, we are in for a freaking treat. Barry interview.
I am beginning to recognize the fact that nothing is true. It's all down to perception. My immediate family is gone.
Stop.
But that's life. It's the same thing with every family, that someone will be left in the end.
Oh my god. And he's the one.
And this time in life, I have fantastic memories. I know that Morris and Robin would have had a different kind of memory.
I remember Barry saying that one day we're going to be really famous. And we said, oh yeah, whatever you say, he's the big brother,
The big brother, and he's the last one.
We saw ourselves as triplets rather than me and Morris being twins.
It's the last set.
Christmas, there was an acoustic guitar at the end of my bed, and Robin and Morris started to collaborate.
They all look exactly the same.
And
Robin
started
specifically.
doing gigs as a teenage act.
We emigrated, the whole family, from England to Australia.
Our father had his own band, but it didn't work out, so he became our manager, and it was a team. There was us three and Dad, and Mum, of course.
My mother, she was always the person who kept the calm between Dad and us. Very strong, very loyal.
This is literally
When
where
the
I'm
Beatles
at
came on the scene, it was
in
like,
watching the anthology.
"That's what we've been trying to do."
They turned pop music into an art form, and they were singing three-part harmony like we did.
So we made up our own minds that we were going back to be part of the British invasion.
Making music is what we wanted to do for the rest of our lives. So we thought, whatever's going to happen, we'll make happen.
Wow, the Beatles' influence. Seeing it here is amazing. I haven't heard this yet.
Before we left Australia, we did an album called Spicks and Specks, and they became our best demos. And as we sat in everyone's office, they would say the same thing. No, I'm sorry, lads, we can't help you.
My dad, he was very, we've got to do this. Because my dad was really the most ambitious man, I think, in the Gibb clan.
Brian Epstein, the man who built the Beatles into a cult, is now as well known as they are.
I was doing Brian's mail most of the time. There was a letter by the father of these three handsome, cute guys who were very proactive and who had some success. I showed it to him. Brian said, yeah, it's very nice. He said, well, give it to Robert. He's Australian. And he's good at these kind of things.
I heard it,
They did.
and I was absolutely astounded. It was the most brilliant harmony singing and composing I've ever heard.
If it should end, I don't mind. If it should end, I will buy.
Robert was my manager. Cream was signed to Robert on what I thought was an exclusive deal. I was just surprised that other acts were coming in.
If it should end.
Robert was so eccentric. I mean, absolutely bonkers. He was Australian, but he spoke like an English gentleman. And he would wear these really big flashy ties, and he had a comb over, and it was all just, well, who is this guy?
Whoever this man was, he really believed in us. He was almost like a parent.
Somebody mentioned that the Bee Gees were in town. They were good friends of mine from Australia. So I phoned them up. I said, "Is Morris there?" They put Morris on. He said, "We've been signed up by this guy called Robert Stigwood. We're doing this recording. Why don't you come and play guitar?"
Oh.
Caught a train into London and found IBC Studios, Barry, Robert and Morris, and the drummer, Colin Peterson. That night, my life changed completely. Completely.
The first evening we were in there was a
The
blackout.
events.
So while we're waiting for the power to come back on, we just sat on the steps and Barry was playing his guitar. It was so echoey. I mean, it was wonderful echo in this place.
There we were in the dark. The first thought was in the event of something happening to me.
In the event of something happening to me.
And we thought, well, what could come from that? We made believe we were in a mine.
It's just a photograph of
Oh,
someone
cool.
that I knew. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the
Wow, the perspective writing is so creative.
Because it was going to be our first single, we wanted a title that captured the imagination, it got people's attention.
And New York Mining
Genius.
Act was born there.
We had our first hit record within the first 5 months of being in England. The thrill was that it did the same thing in America. We thought that we might get a hit in England, but we never dreamed that we might get a hit in England and America as well.
So I came over to the United States to make a record deal for them. I made a decision to place the group with Atlantic.
We said, I'm taking you to meet Ahmed Ertegun and to get you into the American music scene.
Wow.
Otis Redding was playing at the Apollo, and it was amazing.
Soul has always had a special place in Bee Gees music.
We've always been influenced by black music. Smokey Robinson, Motown, all that was a big influence on us.
I said, I want you to write a song for Otis Redding.
Wow.
To Love Somebody was born that night.
To love somebody.
But unfortunately, Otis never got to record the song.
Oh. Wait, that's so sad. Imagine thinking one of your favorite musicians is going to sing one of your songs and then they die.
never shone on me.
But then they're able to create it themselves.
I want my life to be.
There's lyrics, there's a certain kind
Mark
of life
Ronson.
that's never shown on me. Like, I don't even know if he's talking about himself. But there was some point where I got obsessed, like tracking down every cover version, like Nina Simone, The Animals. Some great singers have sung that song, obviously, but his vocal and when he sings it, I can still get chills thinking about it.
To love somebody.
I love this song.
To love somebody.
I just remember this music being on, and I'm like, who's this? And, well, it's the Bee Gees. And I was like, the Bee Gees? It actually blew my mind. Those early records sound like the Beatles' early records.
I've made this comparison as well. I haven't heard
classic
this.
60s guitar pop sound. But then it had another thing going. You've got the brothers singing. When you've got brothers singing, it's like an instrument that nobody else can buy.
It's true. The harmonies and their singing in unison, it's not comparable.
You can't go and buy that sound in a shop. You can buy a Fender Stratocaster and put it through a Vox amp and sound like Buddy Holly. You can't sing like the Bee Gees because when you've got family members singing together, it's unique.
It's the blend of the tones of each brother.
Yep.
And Robin had this wonderful tear-jerking voice.
Literally. Wait, stop. I'm going to cry just listening to this.
Robin was a joyous kid, hysterically funny.
My father always used to call him the nanny goat. Because Robin would go, "Ugh." He'd be rehearsing in the back of the car, you know, doing all these phases and, you know, I love you, and he'd go, shut up.
Robin was always a bit of a loner.
I like being spontaneous. I like being funny with people, but you won't get that right away with me, you see.
Robin had
Gotta
a wit
build that.
no one could compete with. And he could be very dark too.
Robin is not a person who would say, oh, I love my brothers, or I'm group hug, you know, none of that stuff.
I'm basically a very shy person. I'm very hard to get to know. I have to really know somebody before I reveal myself.
Till I finally died.
And you could hear all of that in his voice.
You know, I mean, that's the voice. That's the voice that reaches your heart.
We did a show at the Savile Theatre. And Paul McCartney was there with Jane Asher.
Because Robert had said, would you come and see the boys?
When you think that 5 months before all this was going on, I was in Pitt Street buying the Beatle fan club book.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
now
so
here
cool.
I am partying with these guys.
So cool.
We felt like we'd arrived. Now I'm living out in Highgate outside London. Barry's got a place in Eaton Square. Robin's got a house in St. George's Hill. Beautiful area.
Wow.
And Mum and Dad had their own place. And of course, Andy lived with them.
You know, and after all the work we had done through clubs and everything, I felt grown up. You know, so we made the most of it.
Very talented group of men, the Bee Gees. Once again, the fabulous Bee Gees. Here they are, and get involved with the Bee Gees. Here they are.
I haven't heard this.
By then, we were flying in just the most amazing experience. As a pop group, this was the biggest moment of our lives. Never expected. Hoped for, but never really expected.
Yeah, to 5 months before say, I want to be like the Beatles, and then become on a level.
Then came Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
Robin said, I've got this idea for a song. He sang the melody, and I just remember our jaws dropping.
I love this song. I'm loving hearing about their songwriting.
I'm going back to Massachusetts.
For me, they connected from very early on. Massachusetts is probably the first song. I think that really resonates. There is a gospel quality to it. There is a folk quality to it.
It's true.
I didn't know where the hell Massachusetts
It's
was.
so specific.
But I found myself singing that.
Yeah.
And translating
Same.
it.
I've
to
never
where
been
I
in
was from.
Massachusetts, but you
Robert
relate
knows
it
that
to your own
Massachusetts has
experiences.
just gone to #1. What? To have a #1 in England? You have no idea how much we dreamed of this back in Australia.
I met the Bee Gees at Top of the Pops. I was young. Was I 16? Maybe I was even 17.
Top pop girl in America, top pop girl in Britain.
never heard
the
of
one
her.
and only Lulu.
Some people live within the world and some people live without it.
They were always recording.
They wanted it so bad.
They would literally go into the studio and start writing. I had never known anything like that before.
We don't usually write our lyrics till the day we sing them.
Wow.
We usually write our lyrics in the studio itself.
Morris had unique insight into the way Robin and I thought. He would just be fiddling around on the piano.
He'd suddenly play something and go, what's that?
He was trying to please us, and the way that we would all try to please each other.
All of a sudden, we'll wake each other's little instincts up and the melodies come. It's wonderful. You hear it taking shape. Then it all
Love
blossoms.
this.
It's rolling.
They'd say, okay, we're ready to roll, right? And they play the song, and I'd work the chords out. Colin would figure out what he's going to do on the drums. They say, right, here we go, let's go. Bang, bang, bang. Down it went. And that spontaneity came out in the songs.
In those days, you knocked an album out in 3 weeks. I think we had 3 albums out in 1 year.
That's insane. Insane. People today would say it's annoying and overconsumption, but they just wanted it and they did their job.
When we
What a
went to
concept.
Europe, there'd always be a big bunch of kids outside waiting for us to arrive. It was a frightening time because they crawled all over the Mercedes.
Wow.
On the roof, or the window. It was crazy.
If you've never been famous, you don't know how to behave. You don't know how to experience it. And that affected all of us in its own way.
It's good they had each other at least.
I had 6 Rolls Royces before I was 21.
What?
I don't know where they are now. But I mean, that's how crazy it was.
Wow.
We were all very selfish at that point. The testosterone kicked in and the competition of life began.
I
always a conflict between Barry and Robin because they both had fantastic voices.
Oh, interesting.
Robin wanted to sing a song and Barry wanted to sing it.
Both of us wanted to be individual performers. We all wanted individual recognition. And therein lies the issue.
Robin, we've heard rumours that the group is splitting up. Would you like to verify those rumours?
If I was to say that was true, then I would be the Premier of Russia.
Say if you said it.
I don't know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peterson. How about you, Mr. Maloney?
Oh, no, I don't think it is.
No, no.
No.
I always say that making music with your family is equally the greatest strength and the greatest weakness you could ever have in a musical partnership. To get to the top or near the top, be incredibly driven, and what drives you is your ego. And when you get there, and everybody's got an ego about it, it can be tricky to stay there.
The three of us stopped looking inward to each other and all started looking outwards to what we could be individually. To hell with what my brothers think. And each one of us was thinking that.
Yeah, and I want to see who could be the biggest.
To travel the world when you're young with a family member, it gives you a certain sense of who you are and where you've come from and all that. So you kind of walk that tightrope.
We'd been together all our lives, don't forget.
We've been together since Robin and I were 5, singing professionally. You know, it's a lot of years.
We'd been kids living together with each other right up until the time we arrived, and even after we arrived in England.
Robin was the first to say, oh, I'm quitting the group.
Wow.
I stopped really knowing Robin and his personal life once we became famous.
Oh.
And the
my
same
God.
with Mo. Our 3 lives were 3 different lives. We were no longer living the same life.
Oh my God, I didn't realize there was so much fighting.
Brothers, in general, it's a very complicated
Not the Jonas
thing.
Brothers.
Emotions are
Good
heightened,
comparison.
and there's things that go back to childhood about, you know, if one kid got more attention than the other, and all these things play out in front of just a small group of friends, but when you magnify that with the whole world, it changes the game a little bit.
Well, Robin, that's a good picture. And that's you, Barry, Colin, Vince.
That's correct, yes.
Do you miss them?
Well, it's not really a matter of missing them, really. But I still see them on and off, you know, so that's the way things go.
Wow.
It was really me and Robin that were in conflict, and I think Morris was in the middle.
Story of my life, really. Barry would call me up and say, well, can you call Robin and tell him if he wants to do that? And Robin would go, well, give Barry a call and let him know that I'm going to be over. I said, Robin, you call Barry. Barry, you call Robin.
Mo
And they
being
both
the
said,
negotiator.
No, we won't. And for 18 months, they never did.
We had this fascination with calling the newspapers on. Robin said this about me, and I just want to be able to correct the record and all that stuff.
Oh my God.
It was a whole strange episode of our lives.
This is why there's fan
a
wars
lot
in
of
my comments
things
every
had gone
day.
down at that time, and we needed time apart to think about them.
Their world was crazy at that time.
she
You know,
not
at one time there was 3 brothers, and then all of a sudden,
Look at that wedding
three
photo. What a
wives.
wedding photo.
Morris
So
Gibb
cool.
and Lulu became Mr. and Mrs. at St. James Parish Church at Gerrard's Cross in Buckinghamshire.
You think by marrying someone that you absolutely adore, you think it's going to solve all your problems.
Oh, it's Lulu.
Really?
At Caxton Hall, Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees marries Holly Hollis.
Molly was my first real love, the first serious one.
Oh.
But it was a very traumatic time for me.
Or his brother's not
I
there.
went with my manager. He said, look, Robin, I'm going to send you to New Zealand. He says you're doing the Redwood Park Festival. So I went there, and of course it was advertised that the Bee Gees were coming, not just Robin Gibb, you see.
Yikes.
How did you feel last night?
I have an obligation to my audience not to look scared. I can't say I really felt scared. I was terrified.
Oh, it was that serious. What? I'm shocked by this.
All 3 of us became isolated. And all 3 of us did things to each other that I think we're all sorry for. We loved each other. There was an enormous amount of love between us. Growing up, we did everything together.
I'm getting
We often thought we were
emotional
triplets.
again.
Because we all had the same love. We had the same sense of humor. We had the same love of the same kind of music.
Just typical kids, you know, but the one thing that no one else was doing was that we were singing in harmony. We fell in love with the Mills Brothers. They all did something unique in their own way. And at the same time, Robin and I did 2 different leads, and Morris would always know where to put that other melody to make a 3-part harmony. They mirrored what we wanted to be.
Aww.
Do you find you miss Robin and Morris musically?
Yeah, not musically. I miss them both as brothers.
Should we see the Bee Gees back together again?
That's a very strong point that it could be. Could be. I can't say definite, but I'd like to see the Bee Gees again.
Mr. Epstein has been unwell now for some months. He's been in the habit of taking tablets to help him sleep at night. He was found in his second-floor bedroom just after 2 o'clock this afternoon by his housekeeper.
Yikes.
When Brian died and we restructured NEMS, Robert asked to become a more important senior executive for the Beatles, and that wasn't acceptable to them. So he then left the company and took with him Eric Clapton and Bee Gees so he could start off on his own.
We were an asset. We were one of those people that Robert needed as an element of going public. It was at the launching of the company we were starting to communicate again. And once we came back together again, we wrote Lonely Days, which reflected
I
the
haven't
idea
listened
that
to
we'd been
this
broken
yet.
up.
We'd always been
I'm reacting
boys
to it tonight,
growing up
actually,
together,
like recording.
And I think we came back together as men. We respected each other's opinions, which we didn't before that.
I had already started a first verse and chorus. I knew what How Can You Mend a Broken Heart was, but Robin walks in. I said, I'm just working on this song. Do you want to do it with me? And he went, yeah, of course.
I could never see tomorrow.
We'd been apart for 2 years.
Wow.
If we hadn't been brothers, we wouldn't have lasted half an hour. It just wouldn't have happened.
That's crazy that they seriously were on a 2-year break. That's a long time.
We came back together and we made 2 #1 records in America. So we were on a bit of a high. But we were not really that good when it came to just doing anything without a pill.
Oh.
You know? Or without a drink.
Oh my
It
God.
was destroying us. That became the battle, the fight to survive being a pop group.
Wow, it's crazy how normalized drugs are in the music biz. I think because nobody can understand what it's like to be on a stage at all times.
Robert Stigwood said the Bee Gees are going to go on a tour and they want a guitar player who can play bass as well, because in those days, Morris played bass, but he would go on piano sometimes. And so I called him and I said, well, I can't play bass. And he said, just say you can play bass. So I said, okay, I can play bass. I'll be honest, I was very much into the lifestyle. I just loved being on the road. I loved playing music, chasing women.
Popping pills, probably.
Morris is so funny because he was good at magic tricks. And he'd like to drink a little, as I did. Robin, I never really knew. I mean, I'd converse with him, but not as much as the others. And I would bump into him every now and then wandering the corridors of the hotel. And there's Barry with his glamorous wife smoking a bone, you know. My early days with the Bee Gees were, for me, thrilling. Even though I can understand why it wasn't for them, because they weren't necessarily selling out.
When we were broken up, the world changed radically, very quickly. And that was the beginning of the period when there was just no interest in us at all.
Wait, is Robin not married to his wife anymore?
They try to keep Robin from looking out into the audience in case it was only half full.
When we got back home, I turned to more drinking. I'd go to the pubs. The police knew my car.
Wow.
I was becoming the town drunk.
We didn't think there was going to be much of a future. When
This
you become famous,
is blowing
you
my
think,
mind.
Everyone loves you and they're going to love you forever. It's not true.
All of a sudden now we had to work the clubs of the north of England to pay the taxman. So we had the Sheffield Fiesta, the Golden Garter in Manchester, Batley Variety Club.
He had 6 Rolls Royce.
Great clubs of our time.
The Batley thing. It's where all the
And then had to
has-beens
play
went to play. I'm not saying that they were
bars
has-beens,
again.
but it was like, oh God, not Batley, you know.
I was a waitress at the Batley Variety Club. I really wasn't a fan of the Bee Gees. The only thing I knew about them was
Oh.
You know, Morris was married, well, he was going through a divorce with Lulu.
Yvonne came in, and I saw her eyes. I don't know about the rest of her. I just saw her eyes. And I said, I'm going to marry her. And I knew I was going to marry her.
He was so cute. His personality was amazing.
Morris had this childlike quality, which is something very special in men.
He loved dressing up in police uniforms. Wherever we went on tour, they'd give him a hat, give him a badge.
That's one. It's a badge. I'm showing you now.
People loved him. He had the best smile ever.
I remember him teaching me the showbiz smile. And he said, well, the trick is you move your eyes, you just go like this.
Why do I
And
smile
I'll be
like that
honest with
sometimes?
you, I think Morris was the glue that held it all together.
Oh, I'm Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It.
Discrepancy between Barry and Robin, or if we're going to make a decision about
He's the
something,
peacemaker.
What does Morris think? But most of the time, I'm like my mum. I'm the peacemaker.
It was odd to me because I thought if they can write those songs, how come they can't be consistent? If you got the ability to write How Can You Mend a Broken Heart and to love somebody, where does that talent go?
But did it ever leave? It was just the riff,
in a
no?
row that were dismal.
Armored Ertigan said to Robert, you know, maybe their time is gone, because it was Atlantic were paying for these recordings. And Robert wouldn't hear of it, of course. He would never let the Bee Gees go.
I had a kind of deep-seated resentment about the fact that, you know, they were still his favorite. I had come out of a long period of addiction and alcoholism, and I went into the sort of recovery period.
We had a conversation with Eric about making a comeback. Eric said, well, I've just made this album called 461 Ocean Boulevard in Miami. Why don't
Whoa.
you guys make an album in
Cool
America
album
instead of
cover.
always making an album in England, and maybe a change of environment will do something for you.
The studio there was unbelievable, and I think that's what the suggestion was about, really. I thought those guys were actually an R&B band that hadn't really worked that out yet.
Alan Kendall, who was a friend of mine, said, the Bee Gees are looking for a drummer. You know, are you interested? And I went, yes, I think I'm interested. Yeah, I am interested.
We needed to get more energized and don't rely so much on the ballads that we had been doing.
We wanted to be a band.
God, their ballads are just
bad.
so good, though.
And that was basically the birth of it.
We had a great bass player, Morris. We had a great guitar player, Alan. So really, the only thing we needed was a keyboard player. And I thought, Blue.
Dennis called and said, look, you know, I'm putting a band together with the Bee Gees, and I've spoken to Barry, and everybody's in agreement. Are you interested? I said, no, I'm having great fun. I'm in a rock and roll band. Queen was our support act. I'm touring America.
Wow.
I'm living the rock and roll life.
We'd grown up together playing in bands in Cardiff. I said, we've known each other for a long time, right? He said, Dan, don't do this to me. And I said, I am doing it to you. I said, just do me one favor. Meet Barry. And after you've met Barry, if you don't want to do it, I'll leave you alone.
Wow.
Morris and I had moved to the Isle of Man, which is where we were born. Blue was,
What a
was
beautiful
the guy who was going
place.
to come to the Isle of Man and audition for us on piano.
We were staying in Barry's house, and there was Linda, and then Morris came over. And Huey, the father, instantly you feel comfortable with them.
They
Yeah,
started
it's family.
talking about synthesizers and Moogs, and Blue had them all.
There's a Sunday evening I was leaving, and Huey said, hey, lad, we haven't heard you play.
But my piano was so bad that he played something and it just sounded awful.
It was just like totally embarrassing.
I said, sounds fine to me, man, let's do it.
Barry offered him the job.
I said yes, and January the 1st we left.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, it had to have happened in Miami, huh?
I was about the number 3 engineer at the studio. I worked my way up, and I was at that point in my career where I was ready for anything.
We'd come from England, and so there was nothing sleepy about America.
Put them in the same house I'd rented for Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard.
I think the first thing all
Wow.
of us did was take
Is
pictures
that like a
against
landmark
that
now?
palm tree, you know, doing the Eric Clapton pose. Strange, considering the amount of pressure that was really on the Bee Gees at that time.
They were about to drop us. We had to adopt a new sound. We had to adopt a new attitude.
So the next step was we brought Arif Mardin in to produce them.
We'd often work with other people, but they weren't producers. And this man was a literal producer.
They had expressed how much they wanted to do American R&B kind of stuff, and Arif was, you know, top of the heap for that.
We actually did an album with Arif before that, but Arif said we've got to go more into R&B, and we started working together right here in Miami, down at Criteria.
Carl, have I got a group for you? And of course, everybody knew the Bee Gees. It was a surprise out of nowhere. I was excited. You know, they sing like angels, and they were as excited as I was. And Arif was right in there with them.
He said, look, if you're ever going to break out brand new, you've got to start now.
If you said to me, or anyone, just go and write a hit song right now, they would be able to craft something good, but it would probably be missing
Chris Martin.
magic that if you work in music long enough, you understand is running everything.
Driving backwards and forwards to Criteria, this clickety-click thing was going on in this bridge every time we crossed over it. And in my head, it sounded like and it was gone. And eventually, I started singing to it in my head.
I remember going
Legendary,
to the studio, Harry said,
legendary.
can you do chicken picking? I didn't really know what it was. So I just played this one note and muted it for it sounded like a chicken. And mixed with Barry's rhythm, it really worked, you know.
I love hearing the conception of a song.
At that time, you know, only a handful of R&B artists were using synthesizers. So we went into this field, pioneering in a way.
Music is this huge energy flying around everywhere, and if you're lucky, you get little slices of it that turn into songs.
There is a sort of
Chris Martin's
radio
kind of
trace. It's
profound.
exactly like that. It's almost as if somebody's already written the songs in the air and they're giving them to it.
It was Robert who really pressed for Jive Talking to come out as the first single, because it was something totally unexpected from us.
We sent the record out without the name of the Bee Gees on it, because by then their stock had fallen so low with radio stations in America. And within hours of the record landing at all the radio stations, they were calling in saying, "Who is this? This is amazing."
The brand new #1 song in the USA, the Bee Gees and
They
Jive
got it.
Talking.
They got it again.
Something different was happening, and the brothers felt it too. Miami Beach, that whole vibe turned them on.
I just fell in love with the atmosphere here. It reminded me so much of growing up in Australia.
Nights on Broadway was one of those. The guys had been to New York and they go, oh, we got to write a New York kind of song.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Take 10.
They just
Blame
did
it
it
on-
naturally in the studio, and everybody chipped in.
Albert Erdogan came to Miami. He was there when we were cutting Lights on Broadway. At the time, it was Lights on Broadway. And Albert went, no. He said, you know, you've got to get more adult about the song. And so Lights on Broadway became Lights on Broadway.
Genius. It's crazy how just a small note like that can change so much.
We were completing Nights on Broadway. We'd just done most of the vocal tracks. Usually, you know, at the end, you know, you have some ad-libs or some kind of thing to take us away from the original melody and have some fun.
Genius.
Arif suggested to the band, hey, you know, we really need some kind of background parts that come in and express the meaning of the song.
He was looking for one of us to scream in tune, if possible. I said, I'll go out and give it a shot.
Are we almost ready? Well, let's do it.
So he went out there and he did the Blaming It Alls.
Everybody in the control room woke up.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is a new sound.
That's it.
was thinking, my God, where is this coming from? I can do this. My whole life I didn't know I could do this.
Wow.
Everybody's giving me credit. No, he was singing it. I said, keep on doing it.
I mean, we weren't the first to sing falsetto.
So much credit to the black artists.
We love the stylistics. We love
so
the spinners,
impressed.
The Delphonics. They were all falsetto lead singers.
There's something to be said about all music, is that it doesn't happen in a vacuum. The falsetto is very much a black tradition, but they've translated it into this interesting interpretation of soul. But I guess more importantly for me, it's emotional.
Yeah.
Because we were so excited about this, we started writing songs for this voice.
It created another dimension of sound.
Yeah.
That's what we thought, you know, emotionally.
It's
it
true.
became another
It's like another
icon
artist.
of the Gibbs. Everybody knew when you heard that falsetto, that's the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
When we sing songs like, you know how easy it is to hurt me, it's Barry and Robin singing in unison. But they mesh together so well that it sounds like one voice.
Yeah.
But it's a different voice from them separately.
It's the ABBA method.
It's delivered with such delicacy.
Yeah.
And the message in the lyrics was what guys should say, didn't say, couldn't say for whatever reasons. It's the kind of music you might have bought and given to your girlfriend. But that's what was special about it.
Yeah, they sing from the heart in ways that a lot of people are too nervous as men to express.
Main Course became a turning point for us. Dennis Bryan on drums, and Blue Weaver, and Alan Kendall. That became our band.
Wow, I'm so happy they had that. Could you imagine? We wouldn't be doing this right now.
To record the next album, and we get this phone call that Arif can't be involved in this album.
Robert chose to take the organisation away from Atlantic Records and go private. Atlantic, who were not happy about that, said, well, we're not using Arif anymore as a house producer. I said, who do you think can continue where you left off?
I got a call from Barry, and he said, I want my studio time back, and I want to work with you. And I'm in the control room.
Disco time.
I said to Dennis, the drummer, I says, you know, that pattern you're playing right now is just a little too busy. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, I can't get into specifics about the note values.
Carl called, and he said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I just finished the mix. I'm on a plane tomorrow.
Albie went to Berklee School of Music in New England, and he was one of my best friends. And he says, I'll be on the next flight to Florida.
Yeah, especially after the hit they just
I went
had.
Straight to the studio.
Jive Talking.
I walked in, they were working
Fanny.
on You Should Be Dancing.
Oh,
They came
banger.
in the control room, and Barry said, what did you think? And I said, well, I just got in, but sounds awfully good.
Albie had an inroad into technology, and he had a great ear.
Everybody just seemed to be, I think, relieved to have another ear in the control room.
A different ear.
To hear what they were doing as a whole. In the beginning, when I came, the three brothers were clearly a unit. Each of them knew the way their brothers sang and would be on the same mic, and they would lean in or lean out or complement each other's voices, sort of in perfect synchrony.
Wow. I just listened to this
We
today.
found another sound. We found a new sound. I came up with a lot of new ideas to suit the falsetto. And so that was fine for me. I was having a ball.
He's like, I got more of the lead.
A lot of new music has been coming out of Miami lately. Enough so that we've even heard mentioned the term Miami Sound.
I
This
love
is actually
this
a really
song.
important period for musicianship and production and songwriting that targets the dance floor.
Yeah.
It's a different emotional energy, which is about, can you make the body move? Can you make the body happy?
The same way a horn just punches.
Oh, Justin Timberlake.
That's what Barry's voice reminds me of.
Ooh, I kind of hear the inspo in Justin
I
Timberlake's
was
falsetto.
always into arrangement of instruments. Should Be Dancing. Their voices together sound like trumpets to me.
Yeah, they do.
And we've discovered a new audience.
At the clubs, You Should Be Dancing exploded. Not just, oh, well, I heard that record and I really liked it. It was 3 times a night at any club that you went to. There was a whole industry that was built around this clubbing thing. And a lot of people don't realize disco started in the gay and the black community. People don't understand what it was like back then for gay people. There was a law.
I've
in
learned a
New
lot of
York
this by
that
reacting to
did
Donna
not
Summer.
allow people of the same sex to dance together in a place that had a liquor license.
Interesting.
And then the law changed, and that allowed me to open my club. A new era of dance music started in the gay underground clubs. So, the record industry wants to name it, package it, sell it.
They're like,
That
wait, there's
was
profit
the
here.
Explosion of the disco sound.
I love going back and watching these docs because you get so much music history from, like I mentioned, the Beatles doc and then this one as well. So much you would never know without research.
What particular
Which I
thing
appreciate.
about the studio makes it so attractive?
It's cheap.
Cheap it isn't.
But the actual atmosphere of the place is very relaxing. We create better here than we do anywhere else.
Yeah.
One day we're going to have houses in America all next door to each other with swimming pools. And we thought, oh, that'd be great.
It's a very large family, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger over time. Mum and Dad came to Miami as quickly as we did. I think they were probably the happiest they'd ever been in their lives. And of course, Andy came here with them.
Andy.
Andy was a gift out of left field. But I never knew he existed until one day he shows up.
Andy was a great kid.
Oh, I'm excited and scared to learn about Andy.
Barry was Andy's idol. They were almost like twins.
We were very much alike.
They do look
we
very
looked
similar.
alike. We had the same birthmarks. I would say that we were as much like twins as Morris and Robin.
I think he really wanted to be a part of that.
Andy was very young then. He had his little band.
It was a process of building him up, getting him to play live, and getting him to be an artist.
Oh no,
That
this
was
is
there for
going to
2
tear me
years.
apart.
Out of the blue, a phone call came from my brother Barry and said, I want to produce you. And I think it was like 2 weeks or something, I was in the studio to do a new album in Miami. I didn't think I was ready.
Andy was like petrified. But, you know, Barry was there and guided him through and helped him with lyrics. He was very receptive to new ideas.
Ooh, am
And
I
it
going to
didn't
hear a
take him
glimpse
long
of
to
Andy's
get,
voice?
You know, to find like, you know, another groove.
For so long, you and me been finding each other for so long.
The Bee Gees' point of view was about
That
having
sounds
hit
good.
records and being on the radio. And so the greatest gift that you could give to your younger brother would be to give him that success.
Andy had about 3 number ones in a row.
That's insane.
He was a teen idol. There was talk about him becoming a Bee Gee. I think Robert saw he had a younger audience, smart to keep him on his own.
He sounds so much like them. Just like Barry. Oh, I gotta listen to his music. I will, don't worry.
There was a period when we lived in the shadow of Andy's band.
Oh no.
After Children of the World album, the next project we were booked to record in France because of the Elton John album, Honky Chateau. It sounded great.
I haven't listened to Elton yet.
Robert sent us there. I think it was some kind of tax thing.
We thought, well, if this studio sounds that good, you know, yeah, let's go off to France. Why not? It wasn't the Honky Chateau that Elton John had used.
The chateau sounds absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? Beautiful building, great
This
grounds
looks beautiful.
and gardens and ponds and fountains. No, it's nothing like that. It was a half-built castle, no central heating, nothing. And it was a dump.
But because it was a contract, we just decided to, you know, plow on through.
We were going there to mix a live album called Here at Last Live.
But also, we were getting songs ready for our new studio album, which would be the follow-up to Children of the World.
And we got a call from Robert Stigwood.
A friend of mine, Nick Cohn, wrote this piece for New York Magazine, Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night. Disco was really
Saturday
underway
Night
in
Fever.
Manhattan anyway, but Nick Cohn's point was that
Which
rather
I
than
reacted
being
to if you haven't
underground
watched
gay
it.
clubs, straight couples are now going to do the hustle on a Saturday night in the suburbs. So I got Robert to buy
It's
the
a
film
melting
rights
pot.
to a magazine article, of which there was no story.
Oh.
But it caught Robert's attention because he saw that's a lead role for an actor if it was a movie.
Interesting.
He announced at the Beverly Hills Hotel at breakfast, I'm signing John Travolta to a 3-picture deal, and people thought he was mad. He was a TV actor. No one gets $1 million for 3 pictures. Turned out to be the bargain of the century, of course, because he got into Grease and the movie we don't talk about moment by moment. But 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Wait, why don't we talk about it? Was it not a hit?
I was
Is that
still
why?
running RSO Records, so my job was to do a soundtrack.
Phone call came through from Robert.
Look at that
saying, "I wanna
dog.
make
It's a
this
cute dog.
film."
He said, but I'm going to need 2 or 3 songs.
It wasn't the idea that they would do the soundtrack. We knew they were busy. But have you got some songs, Robert said. And they said, yeah, sure.
Wow.
Robert said, I'm sending you a script. But we decided not to read the script.
We weren't writing the Fever music. We were writing our new album and just having fun doing it.
They already had a couple of tunes or some titles anyway. We thought, let's leave it with them. And I was really surprised that, it was only a few weeks later we got the song.
Wow.
We got a cassette. And to this day, it's amazing.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, the hit of all hits.
It was just one after the other. Staying alive, more
Front
than
to
a
back.
woman. How deep is your love? If I can't have you, Night Fever. On one cassette. I thought, yes, we've got a soundtrack.
Robert called and said, I need a title for the film. What I've got at the moment, I said, is 2 titles, Staying Alive and Night Fever. And he said, Night Fever. On the phone, he said, sounds okay, he said, but it sounds a bit too pornographic. It needs to be called Saturday Night, he said. So it turned into Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, I mean, it's genius. It's genius.
I was deluged by Paramount people saying, how's your little disco movie coming along? So that was a bit patronizing.
Dang.
But the inspiring thing was that Stigwood, during post-production, said, why do we wait for the release of the film? Let's put out a single now. And then he started with the heads of Paramount, like, how many theaters? And they told him something like 200. He said, I'm releasing the record in every city. Why can't it be in every single city? So they made a deal whereby if the record got to the top 20, they would increase the number of screens. If it got top 10, they'd go 80 more.
Stigwood phoned up and said, Barry, I need the best love song.
I do think it's my number 1. I don't know if I updated my
so
ranking.
We went into a room in the chateau.
In today's video
Chopin
earlier, because I
stayed
haven't
there.
recorded it yet, but
so every time I
it's a
looked
favorite.
at this piano, I envisaged Chopin sitting down and playing.
I have tears just listening to the intro.
I sat down to the
It's
piano
ridiculous.
and thought of his prelude in E flat, and I knew Barry could sing in E flat.
Hearing this feels like a gift to my ears.
I'm sure it happened at that point. Through the stained glass window came a beam of sunlight, morning sun.
And that's a memory that'll last me all my life.
Yeah, all the feelings, all the emotions are still there.
It's a perfect
when you
song.
talk about it, it all comes back.
I wasn't there and I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I have a... my heart is in that song.
Know your eyes in the morning sun.
Watching him cry is making me cry.
And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love?
Everything came together. But sadly, Dennis had had some bad news.
My mother was in hospital. She had Alzheimer's. So, I told Barry what was going on. He said, get Dick to book you a flight now.
He had to fly back to the UK, and we had no drummer.
We thought, well, we got to carry on writing and getting these tracks together.
Wow.
When Dennis was not there, I said, well, why don't we just take a bar out of Night Fever? I think it's a little slower tempo. We'll slow it down a little bit.
God.
And see if we can make a loop out of it.
Sampling their own song.
We found a bar that we thought had a really nice feel to it. We copied it over to a half-inch 4-track.
That is crazy.
Splice the tape.
Look at
into
the
a
effort
loop.
here. So it's such a physical process back then.
I was pretty good at imagining what
Wow.
we might be able to do, but Carl was able to make it happen.
It was just necessity being the mother of invention.
We were breaking new ground.
This is insane.
This is the first time we had ever taken the song and built it piece by piece from the ground up. And we started with this drum loop, and then we did a bass line.
Wow, and now you can do it all on
and
the
a
computer.
guitar part. Never again would we rely as much on the liveness. We would always know that we could construct the song and put the pieces together based on the original vision of the song. When we did it, we thought we're just doing this temporarily, and when Dennis comes back, we'll replace it with real drums. But what happened is the feel was so amazing that we couldn't get rid of it.
He played it for me, and I could tell from the first listen. I said, man, that is
He's like,
amazing.
I'm not out of a job, am I?
When you listen to the drum track on Staying Alive, like by itself, it's really this super rugged, like tough thing. It's like, it's not pretty or pop like you remember. It's pretty tough.
Staying Alive was the influence that New York gave to us.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy level at that point in the late 70s was really that. You know, it's survival.
This is 77. Everybody know that times is hard now. You know, if I was out there myself, I would have got what I wanted to.
Wow.
Very few people realise it's to do with anything but dance, but the lyrics don't talk about dance at all. And the lyrics very obviously state
Oh, wait.
The scenario of survival.
I didn't even realize that. Well, I have the lyrics never clicked.
The general fever at the time was you must see this film. The songs precipitated the interest. It was this cultural phenomenon.
Amazing. I didn't know the music is what made the movie so popular, too.
In the first week of release, they were having to hire extra staff in some cinemas to stop them dancing in the aisles.
Wow. Okay, how did they not get nominated for the Oscar?
Other
I'm
movies were
pissed.
being put back or taken out of other screens to make room for Fever. I mean, it was really quite a phenomenon.
I mean, he
Well, the
was
thing happened, that's when everything
insane in
exploded.
that movie.
Oh, the record companies were printing it, then our record company couldn't keep up the pace.
We didn't know what was going on because this was just a soundtrack.
Could I ask, for example, what Saturday Night Fever has grossed thus far?
Around 110 million.
Wow.
In America?
In America, yeah.
4 singles from Saturday
insane.
Night Fever have hit #1 since the album was released.
Insane.
More than from any other new album in history. That's just a few of the statistics.
Yes, I can safely say it's changed our lives.
Wow, to have a
Agent
renaissance
Hank
like
was
this.
stunning by this success.
We were aware we were creating a specific sound, but we didn't know what it was going to do.
Stigwood said, let's give the band half a point or a quarter. No, it's not a percentage, that's a tiny amount of money.
But when you sell as many copies as Saturday Night Fever, so it turns out to be big money.
What are
They
you
got their
doing
houses
with
next
these
to each
millions
other.
of dollars?
What are you doing with your millions of dollars?
It is the biggest night of the year for people in the recording industry, the Grammy Awards.
And the winner is Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah. Good.
For a soundtrack to win Best Album was amazing.
Oh, it won Best Album.
It went on to be one of the best-selling albums in history.
We didn't categorize our songs as disco, but then we weren't thinking that way at all. We were just thinking about writing songs based on this discovery of this falsetto voice and how well that seemed to work.
What the Bee Gees brought, I've always felt they brought melody to disco.
Yeah.
Most disco at that point was melody-free, you know. This was a different take on disco.
1, 2, 3, 4. Right.
It's crazy how up and down and oh.
Just too slow. When we brought out Spirits Having Flown, it did phenomenally well. At the same time, Fever was still in the top 10.
Dang.
You know, we could have left it another year. And it still probably would have been a little too soon with what was going on with Fever.
Good morning, everybody. I'm working at a top 40 station in New York, big one. WXLO, but it was known as 99X. And I was the morning news guy. Most radio stations had a very small playlist. And the Bee Gees probably had the top 4, top 5 hits any given week. And for those of us at the radio station, we're going to take hostages.
And if you haven't had enough Bee Gees music yet, well, we've got more. Guess you could kind of call it overgiving.
And then Andy gibbed too. He was like the caboose on this musical train. It was like waves in the sea.
When we make records and when we're in the studio, we never really see who buys those records. I think getting on the road means that to us. It means that we come face to face with people to whom our records mean a lot.
A
To
tour.
be sure, doing a tour is an enormous amount of work. The only thing that I noticed is that's not right is it doesn't actually say the Bee Gees, and I think it should actually, the Bee Gees name should be, it should be Bee Gees Spirits Having Flown.
The Bee Gees hadn't toured since 1976, and that tour was a promotion for Spirits Having Flown album, but it was celebrating Saturday Night Fever as well, you know.
Dodger Stadium, places like that. We used to dream of this. Having people in the audience like Barbara Streisand watching your show and loving it.
I know they do a collab album or something like that, right?
You're in a sort of goldfish bowl.
I gotta jump into that too.
You know, it's like you don't see much of what's going on out there.
Buy it today, be a disco star tonight.
Wow.
Let's disco to Burger King.
It all goes back to one thing. The same thing that's happening now, greed.
Corporate greed.
Is the thing that happens in people that really ruins a lot of shit. In the beginning, you would buy a disco bannered record and it would be a great song. But then some executive in diapers decided, let's put disco on all these records we want to sell. And it wasn't good music anymore. It was garbage.
Look at me, I'm the disco
So that was, I think, the straw that brought the camel's back.
Disco as a purely musical form is, you know, dead.
I'd like to show you how we destroy the disco records. And then I just...
Oh my God.
Oh, that felt good.
What a drama
Our next
queen that
guest
guy
tonight is
was.
Steve Dahl. He is a disc jockey for station WLUP-FM out in Chicago, Illinois, and he hates disco music.
Steve Dahl was kind of hard to avoid in Chicago.
Disco
Steve Dahl was on the radio saying, disco sucks, disco sucks. I was 14. I listened to The Loop, the radio station that this kind of centered around.
How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to know.
You know, when you do all those things, like put out garbage, you know, have radio feeling ostracized, and a lot of straight people feeling threatened, it creates a real poison.
50,000 people, the largest crowd of the season, showed up at Chicago's Comiskey Park. Many had come for Disco Demolition Night, a promotional gimmick. 15,000 others had to be turned away.
Steve Dahl says, we're going to let everybody in the White Sox Park for 98 cents if you bring a disco record. And we're going to blow those records up in the middle of center field.
What?
We're letting people in. I pointed out to my chief usher, that record, that record, that record, that record, that record, that record, those aren't disco records. Those are R&B records. Well, it's just mostly black records.
Yikes.
At the same time, all this stuff was going down in Chicago. We were playing the stadiums. It was an amazing tour.
Yeah, they were in a Bee Gees bubble. People were still going to see their show, so they didn't think anything else of it. It's crazy this was still in the 70s. They brought out Andy. The Disco Sucks movement is literally just like a bunch of losers coming together. People do that every single day with popular artists these days. Stan Twitter.
Andy joined us on stage for You Should Be Dancing, and it was the four of us together. And Andy joined my mic. So we were singing around the one mic, and he kept looking at me, and he stood back and he goes, "Can you believe this shit?" Nobody could believe what was going on. And to see the four of us on stage, when I looked over and saw Barry and Robin and I saw Andy in front of me, I thought, this is how it's got to be.
They tell you as an usher, every now and then you're going to get a drunk person storm in the field, try to grab him, hold on to him or whatever. But everybody ran on the field. When I got older, I recognized that this was actually the end of an era. It was a racist, homophobic book burning.
Loser
And
fest.
The Bee Gees got caught up in that because they were part of that culture that was lifting a lot of people up.
Losers.
The anti-disco
I'm sick of it.
movement was almost anti-Bee Gees at that point.
Ironically, the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever, the album that made them superstars, also branded them as a disco group.
Because you can dance to it, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make it a disco song. I mean, you can dance to lots of songs.
You really don't want to be labeled disco at all, do you?
Because our music is a variety of different kinds of music. It shouldn't be called just that.
So people hated disco. Hated it.
We had FBI and Secret Service around the airplane every time we landed in a certain place because of the bomb threats. That's scary stuff.
The Bee Gees claim some radio stations around the country are refusing to play their new single.
The Bee Gees are not allowed to have a hit because they had a lot of success with Saturday Night Fever. That to me is crap.
Radio is, of course, very difficult to get back once you lose them.
We're just making music. But I don't think there's any reason to chalk us off because we existed in the 70s. And we would like to exist in the 80s, you know. Does anybody mind if we exist in the 80s? Thank you.
It was so overwhelming and the whole dynamic changed. They were just crazy days. I preferred Morris's Morris not being a Bee Gee, if that makes sense to you.
Suddenly they realized that they were in a different position. Robin went through a kind of a... It wasn't a breakdown, but it was just something where...
First time we've heard from her.
He felt very shy of being in public and doing things for a while.
The backlash was a very frightening experience. When things get to that point, you're out of control.
We thought the Bee Gees better go on the back burner for a while, so until this dies down or something, you know. We couldn't do anything as the Bee Gees at all.
Any band that is successful is going to have some form of resistance. That's just the law of nature.
It's true.
When they
Means
get
you made
so
it.
successful, it's sometimes the only interesting thing to say about them is, "Oh, I don't like them." Everyone else likes, you know, "How Deep Is Your Love?" You know, stupid. For bands of my generation, you understand about the ups and downs. You can see it. Like, where are the pitfalls? What is the shit you're going to take? For those people that were on the first wave of sort of global pop superstars.
Yeah, it
if
felt
you
like the
wanna
end of
call
the
it
world.
that, it was news to them. Like, why does everyone suddenly hate our band? We sold 8 billion records last year. What's the deal?
It was not just the Bee Gees, but the idea of dance. It was no longer acceptable for this kind of music to carry the weight, to carry the industry. And Andy was having problems too.
I saw him in Malibu. He'd been involved with a lot of people who were doing drugs.
Oh my God.
And he was doing drugs, he was doing cocaine. I talked to him outside on the balcony, saying, you know, this is really a nice house, Andy. There's a nice car out there, that Porsche. You're not going to keep all this, you know. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you do what you're doing, this stuff will vanish. All this stuff will go.
There was a lot of chaos that I didn't witness, but I was aware of it. We were scattered all over the place for a little while.
No.
Robin was either in New York or Morris was in England. I was alone at the time, and I got a phone call from Barbara. She asked me about writing songs for her. That terrified me. So I called my brothers, and I said, this is what we got to do. And let's do it.
Right, for other people.
And that's how the Guilty album came about.
I do need to listen to this, and I plan on it, by the way.
We really could not get on the radio. So the whole idea was to write for other people.
Oh, it's their demo. Barbara's such a legend for reaching out to them. And look at that.
It's our way of doing things. We will assume that role within the song to write the song.
After the Barbra Streisand album, managers would call up all the time. Gee, can I get together with you guys? Will you make my record? You know, established artists.
That's crazy. I can't believe I knew they wrote a bunch of songs for other people, but I didn't realize it was because...
It was just as important for us to have an artist singing one of our songs and being on the radio as it was for ourselves.
When you write a song with someone in mind that you really love, and then that person ends up singing it. There's no reward like it.
I know about this one.
I
So
think
it actually
over
helped
time,
them.
We became more and more unified. By 85, we really got it together as a group. We became a real band again.
Well, and just because people let them, apparently.
We never really had a
It
category.
is.
We just had different periods, and we managed to fit into different eras. And I just hope and
Rock
pray
and
that
Roll
the
Hall of
music
Fame
works,
induction.
you know? Because I begin to recognize that there's not as much time in front of me as there is behind me.
Hi Australia, this is Andy Gibb here in Miami, and I'd like to wish all you kids one more time.
Oh no. They're gonna keep him closed. Heart attack from addiction. Stop. This makes me sick.
Barry was first, and then, in fact, Robin's half an hour older than I am. And we're twins, and that's how we basically met.
Him getting sober after Andy died.
What line? Oh, the reaction? Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay. Well, at least they reunited. Oh my god, without the glue, they drifted.
The Recording Academy is celebrating 3 brothers who changed my life and the world of music forever. And though brothers Robin and Morris are sadly gone, we are thrilled to be joined by a brother like no other, one of the most successful singer-songwriters of our times, my friend Barry Gibb.
Feel I'm going back to Massachusetts.
They're a brilliant chapter in the
I
book
need to
of
listen to
music.
this.
You know, some people are a footnote, some people take up the Beatles and Dylan take up huge, but the Bee Gees are there.
You go back and look at their body of work, and it's some of the best songs ever written. There's nothing else to say about the Bee Gees except they were fucking awesome.
When I think about it now, I think about how it all sort of started. We just had this dream. And we thought, well, what do we want to be famous for? It turns out it was the songwriting. And I think everything we set out to do, we did, against all odds. I can't honestly come to terms with the fact that they're not here anymore. Never been able to do that. I'm always reliving it. It's always what would Robin think or what would Morris think. And Andy. It never goes away. What I wanted to say earlier is that I'd rather have them all back here and no hits at all.
Oh my god. I can't even speak. That's how it ends? What the hell? Okay, somebody said that there's something after the credits, I believe. The brothers wrote more than 1,000 songs, 20 #1 singles in the US and UK. Barry Gibb still lives in Miami. He continues to write and record new music. Oh, really? He performs still? He performed at Glastonbury? I was gonna ask about that. Oh, he's still freaking got it. I mean, come on, this is the dream. To do it decades later. Oh, God. What a beautiful documentation of their life story. I've sort of talked about this throughout the entire month of March, and how it seriously pains me to hear that all of Barry's younger brothers passed before him. It's seriously so sick. And I'm so close to my siblings, so I literally can't even imagine. I did read that I believe their sister's still alive. She was in this, so that makes me happy to know that he does still have a sibling alive. But it's seriously so devastating to think that, you know, when you're the oldest, you don't think that you're going to be the last. Anyways, this was extremely emotional, watching sort of a culmination of everything that we've been discovering together on this month-long journey for me. To see it all. I mean, I've heard so much from you guys in the comments. I need to blow my nose, otherwise snot's going to start coming out. And so to see it all happening here was just absolutely beautiful. This cements them as legend status, in my opinion. I think they are legends, of course. I'm surprised. I feel like I knew like Paul McCartney still tours because I hear about it, but I didn't know Barry still. Does he still make music? Does he still write? I was wondering about that because I'm like, if Paul McCartney still does it, why doesn't Barry? So anyways, I got to get tickets to the next tour if he's still touring. This was just an exceptional love letter about the epic highs and lows of the Bee Gees as a group and as brothers. It actually really hurts me to see the rift, especially between Robin and Barry when they were younger, and then again when they're older and they're glue. Morris had passed. It really makes me sad to think about. This was beautiful. This month was, again, seriously an amazing month. I've loved discovering the Bee Gees music, and I will continue to listen to the Bee Gees music as well as Andy's stuff. I can't believe he was going to be a part of the Bee Gees, and that never came to fruition. This was perfect. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you all for your support. It's seriously because of you guys that I'm able to like make these videos and talk about these things. I would never know this story if it weren't for this channel and for you guys being interested and recommending these artists to me. So thank you. It's like changing my life in real time. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. And for the last time this month, peace out.